When we think of money, we generally think of coins, banknotes, credit cards and checks. But in the past, people traded with commodity money like salt, seashells, metal and animals. As South Africa's only money and banking museum and housing the most complete collection of South African banking memorabilia in the world, a trip to the Absa Money Museum in downtown Johannesburg is an outing not to be missed.
If we look at the history of the museum and how we managed to amass the collection that you see around me, it comes out of two of Absa's forerunners, one being United, where United did have the United Banking Museum, which was at Gold Reef City many years back. And then at the same time, there was a Volkskas Museum, which was situated in the Volkskas head office in Pretoria. When those two brands merged with Allied and part of Sage Holdings, came to form Absa in 1991. Those two museums were eventually merged a number of years later to form the Absa Money Museum, which was then, at that time, located in Fox Street.
Initially housed at number 187 Fox Street, it became the inspiration behind the dream of the current Absa Money Museum. Situated in the stylish Absa Towers West building in the heart of the cultural metropolis that is the Johannesburg CBD.
The reason for moving the museum was to move it into our head office space, but it was also to move it into the more functional space. Not only does it serve as a museum preserving the history and heritage of Absa, the history and heritage of numismatics and banking in South Africa, but also serves as a venue where visitors to the Absa precinct can actually come, have a cup of coffee, and also just relax prior to a meeting.
Paul, Absa's art and museum curator, has the privilege to look after Absa's art collection, manage the Absa Art Gallery, Absa's Money Museum, and Absa's Historical Archives. Absa has the biggest corporate art collection in Africa, and Paul stewards this wisely with regular exhibitions. With his motto, to live life to the full, one can regularly expect a fresh approach to these exhibitions.
One of the questions that people often ask me when they visit the Absa Money Museum is, what is my favorite piece? One of the pieces I have is referred to as either the hand grenade or pepper grinder, because it looks very much like a pepper grinder and it has the same functions, that you can turn it. This is the first portable calculator. It was developed by Kurt Hastach during the Second World War, but really only came into being after the war had ended. And what makes this so unique is, even though this was produced towards the end of the 1940s, it was even used as late as the 1980s.
The dream was to include a complete historical flow of finance in South Africa and Africa in the newly developed Absa Towers West in downtown Johannesburg CBD. With this being a green building, the museum had to cater for the use of natural light while preserving the integrity of the artifacts on display.
The museum is unique in the sense that it is the only money and banking museum in South Africa. It does preserve the rich heritage of Absa, and as well, it really is a custodian of banking, finance and the development of money in South Africa.
Paul, with the design team, held the dream to display not only finances, but how the creation of money and barter artifacts display the evolution of societies and subsequent financial sectors. Tokens as originally used as money, the most common or well-known being casino chips still in circulation today, milk bottle tokens, mine trading store tokens, and a 150-year-old brothel token. The collection of artifacts is so unique and special that some of the items has more than the intrinsic value. Some items form part of the private collections across the globe, where others are one of the last of its kind in the world. The vast majority of the collection is kept safe in the bank's archives, being rotated on display for the eager visitor to observe. The entire process took Paul and the design team 18 months from concept to opening, operating weekdays during business hours and on special requests for guided tours. It also offers a free coin evaluation service as a leading authority in authenticity of historical money and finance artifacts. This historical museum allows the visitor to experience the story about an artifact in its original context, without which it would be a dull and useless experience. It is there to preserve items, but far more to preserve the context and history around each item, so that it is able to tell the full story and live on for posterity.